We've made it, guys. This is the last battle, round 6 of Call to Arms Season 6, and not a moment too soon because the next book is being announced and it'll be released pretty shortly. So let's get this game over with. Green Lady versus another high defense dwarves. Will I be able to crack through these dwarves? Let's find out.
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos.
Okay, so my Green Lady list has been unchanged for the last few rounds now. So one thing is I have 2 unicorns, one with Blade of Slashing, the other one with Amulet of Fireheart and Scorched Earth. A bit low on the unit strength as well as the unit count. This is an Alpha Strike army, but also with a core of defense 6 in Earth Elementals as well as some healing in Green Lady herself and the Druid. So I like this addition a lot because it's the namesake of the army, right, out of the Green Lady. For my opponent, the dwarf list with the very popular formation, turning all these units into melee 3+. The Ironclad has Hammer of Measured Force, which is great against me because it's probably gonna be in the center facing off against Earth Elementals. Okay, and there's dwarf on large beast, defense 6, right? So there's defense 5 with phalanx, which is great against my army. Defense 6 over here. Brock Lord, Stone Priest, so I even have a caster with Bane Chant, Radiance of Life, Scorched Earth, Steel Behemoth, defense 6 again. There's Iron Guard over here, which is also defense 6. A couple of Brock Riders, which is help show up the speed of this army, as well as Mastiff Hunting Pack. Pretty strong list all in all. Let's see how we face. Oh, there's 14 units, not incredibly, not a lot, but not little either. Still one more unit than me and more unit strength than me, of course. Let's see how we face off, but first, a shout out to my local game store.
If you're from the Asia Pacific region, do consider checking out Hammer House website for your hobby needs. They carry a wide range of miniatures and hobby supplies, including Mantic, Vallejo, Scale 75, and Green Stuff World products.
Alright, so the scenario is Salt the Earth, which I find is one of the most interesting scenarios because you have to make that decision of whether to burn the token, and sometimes you make the wrong decision of burning the token and then after that you realize, hey, actually you won the battle over at this side, you shouldn't have burned it so that you can score 1 point. So I find that's always been the challenge of Salt the Earth, which makes the scenario very interesting to me. If not, most of the scenarios can be played as a variation of kill. Okay, kill with some special objectives. So let's see how I deploy. I'm not going to go through one by one. So I usually have my Flying Force on the side, Unicorn, Forsaken Beast of Nature, mirrored on the other side, and you can tell that I'm gonna hit through more on the left side because I have an extra regiment of knights here as well as Green Lady to help heal up the damage. Okay, he's also deployed a bit heavier on this side. Bullwalkers both are on the right though, so that's the interesting part, but he does have the same 3 units, Lord on Large Beast, Mastiffs and Brock Rider on both sides, so a bit similar to how I deployed. So I won the side, so I guess, yeah, very easy choice is to take the side with the forest in the middle so that he will be always hindered coming into my forest, as well as this one will probably hinder his advance. So let's see how things goes. So everything pushing up. So first things first is that the Mastiffs will probably try to screen the Brock Riders, right? Okay, but they don't screen exactly because Brocks are 125 in frontage, while Mastiffs are 120. You can actually get through this difference in frontage, just that 5mm frontage, right, by angling your Mastiffs in a diagonal part because the diagonal is always longer than the length. Okay, so if you do it smartly, 120 frontage can block a 125. Okay, of course he has the time to do it as he shuffles upwards if he wishes to. Okay, so everything pushed up. I pushed up quite aggressively over here. I can't remember why. Maybe because I want to cover the whole 20 inches of the forest. So the moment he tip into the forest, I could charge the unit. So there's nothing, he can't, dance around the forest and stuff like that. Okay. Mastiffs, so I need to get rid of them, right? So lightning bolt 5 on each side. So they both dealt 2 damage to each of the Mastiffs. Mastiffs have 11-13 nerf, pretty high, so none of them got wavered or got killed. So moving on, bottom of 1. Okay, so this is what happened for him. Yeah, I moved my Forsaken up too much, such that the dwarf on large beast could move 14 and turn and be out of my front arc. So that's a big mistake on my part. Okay, usually I have the Beast of Nature on this side. Okay, so you can see over here, the Beast of Nature is usually on the outermost. Why I didn't do it here is probably because of this forest. Okay, so if the beast comes here, it can block by the forest, so I put it on the inside. Okay, so nonetheless, this is not good news for me. So in the meantime, the Brock Riders are staying behind the forest so that I can't charge at them over here. Okay, let's see anything else to take note over here. These Mastiffs moved up quite aggressively, but I guess if I were to charge them, it will be within the charge range of these 2 units, right? So still not a great option to charge them as well. Okay, shooting from this side, one is KOW050 Fury. I'm not sure if there are other sources of shooting, but I took 5 damage from whatever shooting he has on this flank. I think KOW050 Fury and maybe the Mastiffs have dogs. I'm not sure if this was within. I think he marched, so he couldn't have thrown the dogs. Okay, so top of 2, what I do? So notice a number over here. I took 14 minutes of this turn, which was not ideal. Firstly, how to deal with this threat on the right. So what I did was I backed up so that within front arc, right? So if you notice, this green arrow is the original position of the Forsaken. So I backed up most stuff. This is probably in the flank, so the large beast cannot charge the Beast of Nature. So continuing the lightning bolt. So I was like, okay, let me hold off so that I can kill the Mastiffs with lightning bolts. But lightning bolt 5 on each side is not incredibly reliable. So 0 damage here and 3 more damage here, but failed to waver or route it. So which is not great news. Meanwhile, I managed to heal everything back to full on this side with Radiance of Life and heal 6. That's an average of 4 wounds, so 1 above average, getting all the wounds off. Getting on the heal to get Thunderous Charge off, right? Because battle up ahead is going to be difficult. 9 Heart Piercers, dealing 1 damage to the Ironclad. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Mastiffs, having sustained so much wound, charged in to ground the Forsaken. Okay, everything else posture. Take note, the Brock Lord is over here now, so wherever my Beast of Nature try to land, it will be hit by the Brock Lord. So that's not a great proposition. Yeah, so these Ironclad move up some more. KOW050 Fury went onto their heal and unloaded more shots. Don't know what it shot into. Maybe it missed all its shot. Oh no, probably here. 2 wounds over here on the Beast of Nature and hindered. So that means the Stone Priest over here cast the Scorched Earth spell. So what else do we have? So since my Forsaken only backed up a little bit, the Brock Lord continued to push upwards out of the front arc, continuing to threaten all this stuff over here. Okay, I'm not sure why the Ironclad moved up in this diagonal positioning. Okay, maybe it's because to face off over here and here, the Pegasus. So let's see what I do in return. So top of 3, notice that I spent 18 minutes and I did not even charge all in, right? So why did I spend 18 minutes on this turn? It's because I theorized all the possibilities of if I were to charge everything in, what position would I be at. And after testing all the scenarios, I felt that it wasn't a great proposition. So I instead backed up further. So if you see all the green arrows were my original position, almost everything backed up. So it took me a very long time to figure out if what's the board state is going to be like if I were to charge everything in. And then it only took me a few minutes to realize, oh, if I don't charge in, everything will be great. So if I had planned the turn thinking of what if I don't charge in, I would have saved a lot of time. So there was a lot of time wasted. This is a game on the clock, so now UB has the clock, so you can see it. We have an hour and 10 minutes, so I've already wasted 41 minutes, or rather used up 41 minutes, right? So let's talk about the left side. I killed the Mastiffs and backed up even more. Yeah, continue posturing. Lightning Bolt unloaded into the Brock Lord, because I realized when I back up, everything's still out of range. He still can't charge me, right? Same over here. Actually, he's still in charge distance, but not great. I think he can charge. He can probably charge this horde, okay, but not the Naiads, because the flank, he can't fit in the flank, right? Yeah, over here I was planning to burn this token because I thought that I would lose this side, but nonetheless I still held off, because if you burn too early, they will suddenly turn their army and focus elsewhere, right? So I was trying to bait the battle to stay here for a little longer. Okay, so now that the Mastiff is gone, these Mastiffs are wavered from 1 point of Lightning Bolt, but nonetheless still staying around. Okay, what was crucial though was that I found a landing spot for my Beast of Nature. Originally it was here. Okay, so I think within 10, maybe more than 10, right? Because what I can do is I can fly more than 10 turn once. As long as it's within 20, I can still fit here. Okay, so nonetheless, this is a safe landing spot for me, far away from the Lord on Beast, because it's only charged 14, and I'm threatening this, and this right now. Okay, so which is trouble for him, because if he turns to face the Beast, then he's gonna get charged by the Earth Elementals in the flank. Okay, what he probably could have done was maybe to screen the flank with this unit. I'm not sure if it's possible, but if you move this way and then this one move up, maybe there's this situation. Okay, I'm not sure if this gap is big enough for the Beast to fit in. It could be. Yep, nonetheless, this is the situation. So this was crucial because it caused him to react, as well as this Mastiffs being wavered. So let's see how he reacts. Okay, so let's talk about the right side first, right? How did he react? Okay, so the first thing is he charged his what do you call this? The Ironclad into the Earth Elementals. I calculated there was a 25% chance of rout if he wasn't hindered, but now that he's hindered, the chance is even lower. Even with Elite hitting on force, that's 12. With yeah, with Elite maybe another 2 or 3 more hits, that's 14 to 15 hits, and that's about 7.5 wounds, 8 wounds maybe. He dealt 9, but even then he needs 9 twice to rout, which is not very likely. Okay, so with that, he has exposed the flank to the Beast of Nature. You can see my front arc line is over here. And what he did with these Brock Riders is that since the Mastiffs can't move, they're wavered, or rather they can reform, it has rotated to face my Brock, my Beast of Nature. Alright, if my Beast were to charge any of these Bullwalkers, I would be able to, or rather he would be able to charge into the Beast of Nature. Okay, but this maneuver was wasted, because if he had presented this was definitely the much juicier target. Okay, furthermore, my Forsaken is still threatening the Brocks. Previously he was screened by, yep, and he did it right. The what do you call this, the diagonal is enough to screen. Okay, and now that he rotated, he's no longer screening there is a charge angle over here. So let's see what's happening over on this side. So continue to shoot, and thankfully I have my Green Lady that can keep healing off damage, right? This Iron Guard made an interesting maneuver. He kept moving forward. Maybe he wanted to try and quickly get there to burn or hold this token, right? Because nothing is contesting it right now. I'm not sure if maybe it's out of the front arc. Probably is if he were to move up like this. Okay. Yeah, over on this side, the MacLeod has charged the Beast of Nature. I wonder, yeah, probably just within. Maybe I didn't check that. Not sure why I allowed that. Maybe because with his pivot, free pivot, he was just within 16 inches. Because going by eyeball, it looks like it's pretty close to 16 inches. Okay. So let's see what happens next. Let's start from the right side. So the Forsaken charged into the Brock Riders. Can't remember the Brock Riders nerf. I think it's maybe 18. So 18 attacks might not be enough, right? So I charged the Unicorn as well. My Unicorn is 3 attacks. TC1 crushing 1, so wounding on 2+. Okay, hitting on 3+, and I got slashing, right? So it's pseudo 4 attacks, but maximum can hit 3. So this is pseudo 22 attacks, so which is a good chance of routing the Brock Riders, which it did, thankfully. Okay, so the Ironclad in the middle got charged by so many units, right? I charged the Naiads into the flank, charged the Rocks in front, the Regiment in the flank, along with the Beast of Nature. Okay, and then to prevent this unit from charging me, I just charged my Sacrificial Pegasus in, and this is definitely out of 8 inches. 8 inches is really very short, and so now he's in trouble. So the Forsaken Horde is facing down on probably this unit, and this unit. The MacLeod has nothing to charge at, and over on the right side, I killed off the MacLeod, and I noticed this maneuver that I did with the Unicorn. I think what I was trying to do is to stop the Brocks plus the Lord plus Gorloks from triple charging into the Forsaken, okay, by blocking off landing space. Okay, if the Brocks couldn't go here, then I would have been successful. Okay, but I think he could just fit it here, and then that would have wasted all my effort, right? Because then I could get triple charged by that. Nonetheless, I did cast the Scorched Earth onto it. Okay. Yeah, I think let's look at the next turn. So this looks like I got triple charged, right? So if I was to try to pull off a smart play, I should make sure that I did it properly, right? So I lost that Forsaken. And over in the middle, Pegasus got taken out quite expectedly. Over here, things turn around. That's about it for his turn. Okay, let's see what I did over here. So kill the Mastiffs. No, I didn't kill the Mastiff with my Forsaken. I flew back because I realized, hey, I'm winning this side. I might as well go back and hold this token. Right, so I flew over. The Mastiffs got taken out by my Unicorn. It already has 3 wounds on it, right? So pseudo 4 attacks. Good chance of routing it. Not great actually, but managed to do it. I think not sure if I would have been safe, or even if the Dwarf Lord were to charge me hindered, it's not gonna kill the Unicorn in 1 turn anyway. Okay, so at this point, because of everything is facing this way, so my Beast of Nature just say, okay, I'm out of here, and so he has nothing to charge for 1 turn as well. So I'm not sure why I'm holding this here for so long. Why didn't I move? Maybe I was in the risk of... I'm not sure actually. Maybe I should have just turned up and mounted the Q to threaten this Iron Guard who has successfully commandeered this objective token. Okay, so for my Beast of Nature that was here, it jumped on the Stone Priest over here. Why did I do this? Because I realized that the beast will, my end game for the beast is to get this token, and even if I didn't kill the beast, I could just sidestep or just turn and move 10 to get this token. So it's a safe play. Just charge onto the Stone Priest anyway, stops his Bane Chant or whatnot. Okay. So yeah, things here. What was I doing here? Yeah, I was just waiting for him to charge, because if he charged me first, I could flank, and then yeah, if I charge him first, I would get flanked, I think, or maybe it's the front, but still not great. So if he charged me first, there is some hindrance over here, and then I'll flank him, so which is great. Okay. What is? Oh yeah, this is my turn. Right. So next, bottom of 5. So the side that I thought I would win, I'm now losing. So he's now using his rocks to hold this token. Okay, things are turning around, threatening stuff everywhere. Okay, Scorched Earth onto the... Did he cast Scorched Earth? Maybe not, because this guy got wounded, right? Or maybe I forgot. Oh well. Nonetheless, so now he is posturing, so he's trying to hold this token, and this Walkers has started turning this way to get this token, because this is 1 unit strength, this is 3 for a total of 4. I only have 3 here. So yeah, I could lose here as well. So but the key is that so if I were to burn this now, right, he can refocus this Walkers around to hold this token. So that's why I didn't burn it, because I want to threaten this token as well. Okay, so I did not have my turn 6, but this is the bottom of 6. So let's see what is the result. Yeah, I guess I charged multiple stuff in, yeah, into the Iron Guard. Yeah, this 2 plus the Unicorn. Okay, so some things are in the flank, maybe. Yeah, so I think some things are in the flank. So I managed to take out, let's see, I think this would probably be in the front, but the Unicorn at least is in the flank. So I managed to take out the Iron Guard, which is probably pretty lucky. Okay, and then I burned this token. Because why did I burn this token? Okay, because I don't think that I could hold it much longer with all this threat over here. Okay. Yeah, the beast over here expectedly hold this token. My Naiads held this token, and I double charged the rocks. And what that does is I am threatening 5 unit strength on this token while he only has 3. So with this Bulwarkers out of the way, he can no longer hold this token. So I'm holding 1, 2, 3 while he's holding 1, 2. Right? So that's my position, and at the bottom of 6, I ran out of times. So the key thing, if there was a turn 7, I would lose. Right? So knowing that I ran out of time, I think that's why his Brock Lord just revealed his rear to me, because I have no time to play anymore. And he went for this token, while this one is threatening onto the Beast of Nature. So definitely, if there was a turn 7, I would be dead. This has 5 wounds on it already. Okay, and this might die too, this Earth Elementals. Okay, so yeah, lots of threat over here. Yeah, thankfully there was no turn 7, so I won the game, but on a 50-50 die roll, right? So let's look at some learning points. Okay, so this was my mistake. Don't let that nimble unit, especially at the flanks, move up and at the double out of my front up and turn. That's his king on large beast. So that's something I usually do with my Beast of Nature, but he had his large beast to defend the flanks. So sometimes when deciding whether to go all in, I should check the other option of not going all in and whether that is a good option for me. And turns out it was. And if I didn't spend like almost all of the 18 minutes wondering what will happen if I charge everything in, and just say, oh, if I just don't charge in, my Beast of Nature lands here, everything is great, then I wouldn't waste so much time. And it was a long decision for me because it was top of 3. So if I don't go in at 3, I only have turn 4, 5, and 6. And thankfully, if you rewind, I actually only lost 2 units, the Forsaken over here and the Pegasus over here. Out of 13, I only lost 2 units. Out of 14, he lost quite a few because I think he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units left. So he lost 7 units. And even after he takes so many heavy losses, this game was still quite close and quite cagey, and I would have lost if there was a turn 7. Yeah, if I had time, I probably wouldn't have lost. Yeah, because this would have flanked. And front, this would most definitely kill this. And then I could burn this token, right? And then I would hold 2 while you hold 1. I'm not sure about here. I can probably charge and block him from getting to the Naiads. Okay, probably the Beast of Nature charge here, and with that I can put the Unicorn here to block him from charging past, because Disordered, you don't ignore yielding. Yep, let's see. Okay, so next learning point. So if I'm not going in, right, I need to find ways to threaten him, to force him to react, and that was my Beast of Nature flying in between his units. Force him to turn his Brox, which opens up a charge to me, as well as force his Ironclad to charge in unfavorably. Okay, so this was for him. He shouldn't have turned those Brox because firstly, my Beast of Nature wouldn't stay there anyway. Right, I'll definitely go for the much juicier target, which was the Ironclad, and so his Brox wouldn't have been able to charge anyway. So turning to face the Beast of Nature was a moot decision, especially when he turned, he also exposed himself to be charged by the Forsaken Knights. So my Unicorn, using individuals, can still block or limit multi-charges by being in the way, right? By being in the landing zone. Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, you have to clear your contact point away from the Unicorn as well. So sometimes you can even block a single charge. But that being said, I should have checked whether the units could still fit after my wonderful positioning. Granted, the Forsaken reformed after killing off the Mastiff, so you know this positioning was not done in the movement phase but in the reform part of the game. So what I can't kill, I ignore, right? I nearly didn't engage all the defense 6 units. The dwarves on large piece, didn't engage them. The Iron Guard was the only one that I had to charge, forcefully charge near the end game. And what else? Golok's Fury, I didn't touch him at all. The Phalanx units, I didn't touch them at all except near the end. So yeah, ignore, just keep flying over them. So use my superior mobility. Last point is on time management. So most tournaments we have 60 minutes. So if you divide it by 6, it's about 10 minutes per turn. And we should have some time for the 7th turn as well. So one thing you need to take note of is for UB, of course, we have 10 more minutes to get over the clumsiness of playing on UB. Okay, but in a 60-minute clock, I think this should roughly be the spread. Actually, the middle turns tend to take more time. The second turn and fourth turn tends to take more time, and then the rear and the front turns should take less time. Turn 1 is the one that's a bit tricky because some games you do the deployment on the clock as well. So deployment plus turn 1, try to take less than 10, so that the second, third, and fourth turn you can take 10 or a little bit more. And the remaining turns you can take less than 10, and you just save a little bit of time for turn 7. So I think roughly that should be the distribution. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this game. I will have a next battle report coming out soon, and that will be a non-UB battle report, live battle report, yay! And featuring my new army, the Persian Abyssals. So do stay tuned for that. If you liked my style of battle report, breaking down the tactics and what you can learn from the games, do like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications, all that jazz, so that you will not miss my next video. With that, thank you guys. See you.